My husband made me sleep outside in the snow so his sick best friend could have our hotel room, but he doesn't know that he was about to lose everything back home. Me and Nathan had been planning this ski trip for 6 months. I'd saved up all my vacation days, booked the perfect cabin at this resort in Colorado, even bought new winter gear because Nathan said he wanted to take cute couples photos on the slopes. We drove up together and he spent the whole ride on the phone with his best friend Vanessa, telling her about our plans. I thought it was weird, but whatever. They talked all the time about work stuff since she was in the same industry. We got to the resort and there was some mix-up with our reservation. They said they'd overbooked and only had a standard room instead of the cabin, but it was still nice and they'd give us a discount. Nathan seemed weirdly relieved about the downgrade. We checked in, went to dinner, everything was perfect. Then the next morning I woke up and Nathan was already dressed. He said Vanessa was here. I asked what he meant, and he said she'd decided to take a spontaneous trip, and what were the odds she'd pick the same resort. We went to breakfast and there she was in the lobby, acting all surprised to see us even though she'd already texted Nathan that morning. She started crying about how her ex had just gotten engaged and she needed to get away. Nathan immediately invited her to ski with us. I pulled him aside and reminded him this was our trip. He said I was being selfish and she was going through something. That night, a blizzard hit. The resort lost power in some buildings. Vanessa's building was one of them. She showed up at our door with her suitcase saying she couldn't stay in a room with no heat. Nathan said of course she could stay with us. We had one bed. I said she could take the couch. She started having a panic attack about her claustrophobia and how she couldn't sleep in the living area because it was too open, and reminded her of her childhood trauma. Nathan actually asked if I'd mind taking the couch so she could feel safe. I said absolutely not. That's when Vanessa started coughing. She said the stress was triggering her autoimmune condition and she needed to lie down. Nathan helped her to our bed. She claimed she couldn't breathe properly and needed space. Nathan looked at me and said maybe I should go to the lobby for a while. The lobby was closed because of the storm. He said then maybe the hallway. I asked if he was seriously kicking me out of our room. He said I was stressing Vanessa out and making her condition worse with my negative energy. She needed rest and warmth or she might have to go to the hospital. I said then take her to the hospital. He said I was being heartless. I grabbed my coat and left. The hallway was freezing. I tried the stairwell, but it was worse. I found an unlocked conference room and slept on the floor using my coat as a blanket. At 5 a.m., security found me and asked what I was doing. I explained and they said that was impossible because the resort had backup generators and no buildings lost power. I went back to the room. Nathan and Vanessa were in bed together. Not even doing anything, just sleeping. But her head was on his chest and his arm was around her. I packed my stuff and left. Drove 8 hours home in a blizzard by myself. Nathan didn't even text to see if I made it. I was so exhausted and upset that when I got to my apartment, I passed out in the parking garage. The security guard found me and called an ambulance. They called my emergency contact, which was my dad. He met me at the hospital where they said I had hypothermia and exhaustion. When I told him what happened, he went completely silent. Then he asked for clarification. His son-in-law, who worked directly under him at the firm, had left his daughter to sleep in a hallway